George Hamilton kept secrets for over 30 years that would shock Hollywood to its core, and when the truth finally came out, it changed everything we thought we knew about the golden boy of Tinseltown. For 6 decades, Hamilton seemed like Hollywood's open book, that perpetual tan, that debonair charm, those high-profile romances with everyone from presidents' daughters to international socialites. But Hamilton was living a carefully constructed double life that involved international dictators, forbidden affairs, secret children, and espionage rumors that reached the highest levels of government. Born in Memphis in 1939, George Stevens Hamilton appeared to have the perfect Hollywood origin story. His father toured as a bandleader, his mother was a Southern belle who'd marry 4 times. Young George moved constantly as a child, discovering acting in high school plays down in Palm Beach, Florida. By 1959, he'd won a Golden Globe for his film debut and signed that lucrative MGM contract. The Golden Boy image was set from day one. Behind the scenes, though, Hamilton's life was anything but conventional. The first secret that would define his hidden existence began when he was just 12 years old, living with his father and stepmother in New York. This wasn't just any family arrangement, and what happened would haunt and shape him for decades. The woman was June Howard, his father's new wife. She was 28. Hamilton was 12. On a rainy day when his father was at work, young George was lying on the daybed in the living room where he'd been sleeping. June appeared wearing an ice blue peignoir and joined him on the bed. What followed, as Hamilton would later describe it, was as natural as the birds and bees neither of my parents had gotten around to telling me about. This wasn't a one-time incident. The affair continued for weeks, and Hamilton's father never knew. But here's where the story takes an even more twisted turn. Years later, when Hamilton had become a successful Hollywood actor, he encountered June Howard again. His father had died in 1957, and when they met, Hamilton was of legal age. They resumed their relationship. When Hamilton finally revealed this story in his 2008 memoir, the reaction exploded across media. During an appearance on The View, Barbara Walters and Joy Behar pressed him about whether he considered it molestation. Hamilton's response was characteristically unrepentant. "I was molested? Damn, I'm down for it again." He remembered the experience fondly, describing how June didn't make me feel bad about it, and calling it very normal in a strange way. This revelation alone would have rewritten Hamilton's biography, but it was just the beginning. By the 1960s, Hamilton had become one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors, but his romantic life took on political dimensions that few realized at the time. In 1966, 26-year-old Hamilton made international headlines when he arrived at the Academy Awards with Linda Bird Johnson, the 22-year-old daughter of President Lyndon B. Johnson. For 18 months, they were quite the item, as Hamilton later put it. But this relationship came with scrutiny that extended far beyond typical celebrity gossip. Hamilton's romance with the president's daughter coincided with the Vietnam War, and his draft deferment became a major controversy. He'd received a 3A deferral on the grounds that he was his mother's sole financial provider. Critics accused him of using his presidential connection to avoid service, especially since his mother was married to an heir to the Spalding sporting goods fortune and living in a Beverly Hills mansion now worth $15 million. The relationship also led to some of the most surreal moments in presidential history. Hamilton recalls going hunting with LBJ himself, riding in a Lincoln Continental convertible with the top down. "I'm thinking to myself, I'm 6 inches from the head of the President of the United States with a gun," Hamilton remembered. "This is where I get it. They'll find me. Paint all over the car." When Johnson spotted a deer and told Hamilton to shoot it, the actor found himself jumping out of the presidential limousine to fire a weapon while Secret Service agents looked on. This level of access to presidential power would later fuel persistent rumors that Hamilton was working for the CIA. The speculation followed him for decades. Only recently, on a 2024 podcast appearance, did Hamilton directly address these rumors, acknowledging that his relationship with the president's daughter had made people suspicious about his true role in Washington. The political connections were just one layer of Hamilton's secret life. In 1979, while promoting his hit vampire comedy Love at First Bite in Manila, Hamilton met someone who would entangle him in one of the most notorious corruption scandals of the 1980s, Imelda Marcos, the First Lady of the Philippines and wife of dictator Ferdinand Marcos. What began as a friendship during a promotional tour evolved into something far more complex. Hamilton became what prosecutors would later describe as having a prominent friendship with Imelda Marcos. This friendship came with perks that most Hollywood actors could never imagine, but also with consequences that would nearly destroy Hamilton's reputation. Between 1979 and 1986, when the Marcos regime collapsed, Hamilton allowed more than $12 million to flow through his personal bank accounts. The money came from the Philippines, funneled through a network that included Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi. Hamilton received a $5.5 million loan from Marcos Associates. The government alleged that the Marcoses were using Hamilton as a front to move stolen money out of the Philippines. When Ferdinand and Imelda Marcos were indicted on federal fraud and racketeering charges in 1988, Hamilton was named as an unindicted co-conspirator. The case painted a picture of Hamilton as either a willing participant in international money laundering or, at best, a useful idiot for one of history's most corrupt regimes. Hamilton's defense was loyalty. "The Marcoses didn't need me. I was just an actor," he insisted. "They were being courted by some rather important people. Now all of a sudden those people aren't saying they're friends anymore. Well, I'm saying I'm a friend." He testified under immunity, acknowledging the financial arrangements but maintaining his innocence of any criminal intent. The case had a dramatic conclusion. Ferdinand Marcos died before going to trial, and in 1990, Imelda was acquitted of all charges. But for Hamilton, the damage to his reputation was significant. The Golden Boy image was permanently tarnished by association with one of the world's most notorious kleptocracies. Hamilton tried to explain the relationship in personal terms. He claimed that Imelda Marcos had saved his mother's life by inviting her to the Philippines after Hamilton's brother died, providing emotional support during a devastating period. But prosecutors and the media saw something more sinister in the millions of dollars that had flowed through Hamilton's accounts. While the Marcos scandal was playing out in public, Hamilton was keeping another secret that wouldn't be revealed for years. In the mid-1990s, he began a relationship with Kimberly Blackford, a stunning swimsuit model in her 20s. The relationship resulted in the birth of Hamilton's second son, George Thomas Hamilton, known as GT, in December 1999. Hamilton's handling of this relationship revealed another side of his character. While Blackford was pregnant with his son, Hamilton was already pursuing his next romantic target, best-selling novelist Danielle Steele. Blackford later revealed that she discovered Hamilton's new relationship by watching him on a morning television show where he casually mentioned dating Steele. "I felt sad, depressed, and lonely," Blackford said. For years, Hamilton refused to publicly identify GT's mother, treating his son's existence as another family secret to be managed carefully. The pattern was consistent with how Hamilton had always handled his private life: compartmentalized, controlled, and revealed only when necessary. Throughout all of these scandals and secrets, Hamilton maintained his carefully crafted public persona. His perpetual tan became legendary. "Initially, it made me feel hotter," he explained. "I went to a party when I was 17 and gangly and funny-looking like Jerry Lewis. And I got a suntan, and all of a sudden the girls started hitting on me." The tan wasn't just a cosmetic choice. It was armor, a way of maintaining his image even as his private life spiraled into increasingly complex territory. Hamilton's romantic resume read like a who's who of Hollywood and international society. He dated Elizabeth Taylor for a year in the mid-1980s, maintaining a friendship with her until her death in 2011. He revealed that he had dated at least 4 Miss Worlds. His list of conquests included Vanessa Redgrave, Britt Eklund, and countless other celebrities and socialites. Even these relationships carried hidden depths. His romance with Elizabeth Taylor, for instance, came during her own tumultuous period, and Hamilton provided stability during one of the most chaotic phases of her life. When she died, she left him a watch engraved with the message, "Dearest George, I love you even though you are an ass." The full scope of Hamilton's double life only became clear with the publication of his memoir in 2008. At age 69, Hamilton finally decided to tell his story, revealing secrets he'd kept for decades. The timing wasn't accidental. Many of the key players in his story were dead, legal statutes of limitations had expired, and Hamilton had reached an age where protecting his reputation mattered less than controlling his legacy. The memoir's revelation sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. The stepmother affair, the secret son, the Marcos money, the CIA rumors, it was all there in black and white. Critics accused Hamilton of sensationalizing his story, while defenders argued that his honesty was refreshing in an industry built on carefully managed images. Burt Reynolds, who knew Hamilton during their Hollywood heyday, once observed, "George was different. When I came to Hollywood, there were 175 Marlon Brandos, 2,000 Jimmy Deans, and a lot of Carol Bakers. But nobody wanted to be David Niven except George." Reynolds believed that if anyone could have gotten Hamilton to be as relaxed and self-deprecating on film as he was in real life, he would have been the next Cary Grant. The tragedy is that Hamilton's real story was far more interesting than any role he ever played. His ability to navigate between Hollywood glamour, international politics, and personal scandal required skills that few actors possess. He moved seamlessly between dating the president's daughter and laundering money for foreign dictators, between romantic comedies and international intrigue. Hamilton's survival strategy was simple: compartmentalization and charm. He never denied his actions, but he reframed them as adventures rather than scandals. His tone remained consistently unapologetic, even when discussing the most controversial aspects of his life. "I was over my head from the day I went to Hollywood," he admitted. "Most of it was spent over my head. I don't think it's fun to swim in shallow water. I've always liked to be figuring it out as I go." Today, at 85, Hamilton continues to work occasionally, appearing in documentaries about Elizabeth Taylor and making selective public appearances. The golden tan remains, as does the charm that allowed him to navigate decades of secrets and scandals. In recent interviews, he appears remarkably at peace with his past, neither celebrating nor condemning the choices that defined his double life. The George Hamilton story raises uncomfortable questions about celebrity, power, and accountability. How does someone maintain a successful public career while engaging in behavior that ranges from questionable to potentially criminal? How do wealth and fame create opportunities for both extraordinary experiences and moral compromises? Hamilton's answer seems to be that life is meant to be lived fully, consequences be damned. His secrets weren't kept out of shame, but out of practicality. He understood that certain truths would destroy the carefully constructed image that was his most valuable asset. When he finally chose to reveal those truths, it was on his own terms, in his own words, at his own pace. The double life of George Hamilton wasn't just about hiding scandals, it was about maintaining the space between public persona and private reality that every celebrity navigates. Hamilton simply took that navigation to extremes that few could imagine, much less survive. His story serves as both cautionary tale and case study in how far charm, connections, and careful image management can carry someone, even when the truth is stranger than any fiction Hollywood could produce. For 30 years, George Hamilton successfully maintained one of entertainment's most elaborate double lives. When the truth finally emerged, it revealed not just the secrets of one man, but the hidden machinery of celebrity, power, and survival in America's most image-obsessed industry.